Okay, hello folks again. So we've just gone through making a cube, and at this point you should be getting used to how to rotate, okay, how to pan, and how to zoom in, okay? These three things are the basis of 3D design. So getting good at manipulating 3D designs, it's kind of like riding a bike. Once you learn how to do it, you get really good at it, and you can just go to any computer and start manipulating 3D designs like a pro. Okay, it just doesn't take very long. For those of you, I think it will probably take you, honestly, it will take you a little bit of practice, and you'll be whipping through 3D designs and rotating them and looking at different angles and sides and stuff real quick. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start creating your numbers on all six sides, okay, to represent the numbers of a die. So to do that, to put a hole, if you will, in the middle here, I'm going to go to this command over here on the toolbar, and it's called hole. If you pause on it, it will tell you what it is and what it does, okay? And I'm going to just click on that, and you can see it brings up it's asking you, where do you want to place a hole? So all you need to do is click somewhere on this. I'm going to just create a hole on this face. And you can click in the middle as close as you can. It doesn't really matter where you put it because you're going to actually arrange it or place it exactly where you need it in a few minutes. Now, what's cool about the hole is there's a lot of different features to it. So you can create what's called simple holes, counterbore holes, countersunk holes, through holes, simple holes, clearance holes, and angles. So holes are usually drilled with an angle bit. If you ever use a drill bit, you'll know that they have an angle on them. Or you can what's called a blind hole or flat hole. Okay, so I'm going to choose a flat hole. It's just a simple little basically cylinder cut out of this. And for the depth, I'm going to really just back this off as at 2 millimeters. And in terms of its diameter, which is given by this guy down here, I'm going to say, you know what, 4 millimeters I think probably looks about right for the cube. And at this point, you might be hitting OK, but right now it's not centered in our square. So to do that, we have up here references. So you see here reference 1 is going to be one of the edges. So we go to one of the edges. So how do we get that hole in the center? Well, remember it's 20 millimeters. So the center of that is going to be 10. Okay, so we just type in 10 here. And then we're going to hit the second reference and we're going to choose the opposite or another side that's perpendicular to that dimension. And again, we're going to enter 10. At this point, we hit OK, and it will create the hole in our die. Perfect. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to go and I'm just going to turn this a little bit using my shift key and middle mouse button to just rotate it a bit. And I'm going to use the hole command and I'm just going to go around the die. So now I'm going to do one over here. Now this is interesting. Sometimes it does this. It actually plops it up to the corner. Okay. If it does this, hit cancel and try it again. Okay. Because it needs to place it somewhere in that face. Okay. If it goes to the corner, it means somehow it snapped to that corner, and that's not what you want because it will just take away the corner of your dice. You'll notice that once I've clicked it, those parameters are already there. So the 2 millimeters, the blind hole, the flat hole, the 4 millimeter diameter, it's already there. Everything's good to go. So it's literally just placing the references. So I want to go from the top edge, and I'm going to say, you know what, I think for what it is, if we go 4 millimeters from the top, and 4 millimeters from the side. Okay, and hit OK. I think that looks pretty decent. Okay, for placing that, I'm going to do the number 2. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So let's do the same thing now down here. And I'm going to select this edge and go again 4 millimeters that way. And then hit select here and go 4 millimeters that way. And hit OK, and there's my number 2. So you can now carry on and do this for number 3, 4, 5, okay? And then we get to 6. So let me do 6 on the bottom here. So I'm actually like rotating this every which way. So how are we going to do 6 on the bottom? Well, let's quickly put the holes in. So I'm going to put in, and again, I clicked on that face and it went automatically to the corner, which is not what I want. So I want to hit cancel. Just get out of that for a second and try that again. All right, that time it worked good. And I'm not sure what it's doing there, truth be told. It's got to be something, some setting or way I'm clicking on it. It happens. So I'm happy with that hole there. Now I'm going to create the one in the middle. Just do this really quick. See, it clicked on the edge again. Must be the way it's oriented. So let me see if I can rotate a little bit better here. Yeah, something to do with orientation there. Okay. Come on, Mr. Bureau. There we go. All right, so we go here, 4, and in the middle, which is 10. Again, half of 20, right? Okay. And there we're going to go and do the last one of our 6. Well, it's not actually 6, it's 3 in a row, but you'll see in a minute what I'm going to do. And it's really cool. You'll be like, oh, that's really neat. All right, so we're going to go 4 there, 4 there. All right, and we're good. So now what do you do? Well, you can create your other 3. Okay, you can take the time to do that. It doesn't take very long. But I'm going to show you another cool trick. There's lots of cool tricks to learn. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to realize that, okay, this these 3, if I had them just mirrored on the other side over here, life would be awesome, right? So there is in the toolbar here, this construct, and if you click on this, there is this option that's called mid-plane. So what that does is it creates a plane in the middle of something. So like we are mirrored, our bodies are mirrored, right? We have 2 hands that are mirrors of each other, and the plane for us would go down in the middle between our eyes, through our nose, middle of our mouth, and all the way down our body. And most of our stuff on our bodies are mirrored, right? So it's the same idea here, is I want to mirror, have a plane that goes down the middle of this, so right through that one, that's kind of down between this face and this face. So that takes a little bit of getting used to. Clicking and selecting those faces. So you have to know how to rotate in 3D. There's just no way around it, okay? So once you've selected both of those faces, kind of in the middle, if you will, of the die, between the two, going to be the 2 rows of 3, okay? Then you hit OK, and it creates this orange plane there, this light orange plane. So now, what's really cool is I can actually go here and create a mirror. So I can use the mirror option. And I'm going to choose, instead of faces, I'm going to choose what's called features. And I'll talk about what features are in a minute. So features are all of these holes, okay? And what I want you to do is when you click on those 3 holes, it's a good opportunity to start showing you about what's called the history tree, which is like a branch here. And you'll notice that the 3 holes that I selected also highlighted down here, which is really cool. All right? At this point, we'll talk about what the history tree does in a second, but I'm going to select the mirroring plane and select this plane here, okay? At that point, you'll see that it's ghosting over here, so it says, okay, that's good. And I'm going to hit OK. And you'll notice, if everything goes well, it will create the mirror. And I've done. So that is a very, very useful command to actually mirror or replicate geometry from one side of an object to another. Okay, so you're going to be able to do that all the way around the die, and go ahead now and finish up your 3, 4, 5, like all sides of those faces, and then we're going to do the last video on finishing up the dice.